In the midst of billions of stars and planets in this huge universe, it is in this beautiful planet called Earth that mankind coexists along with other living beings, flora and fauna. The search for life in other parts of the universe is on. And if any creature like human beings do exist, they would probably go green with envy at the green aspect of planet Earth. The fabulous ecosystem of planet Earth, consisting of greeneries of all forms, water bodies big and small, mountains, snow-capped mountains, jungles, deserts, etc., all combine to make it an abode of unique excellence. Then, what happens when these factors like greenery, water, etc., start to dwindle because of so many factors, most of which are man-made? Today, the scenario is a matter of concern. All-round development of mankind is inevitable, but should it be at the cost of nature? Now is the time to take stock of the painful reality and find means to stop destruction of environment, resulting to climatic change, which shall eventually have catastrophic results. The onus is on us to pass on this beautiful planet with all its glory to our next generations, or else not only we shall be disregarded as forefathers, but looked upon as mercenaries who destroyed the planet for their own goals.
So, when the opportunity to be at the 4th Northeast Green Summit 2019 at IIT Guwahati came up, we went with full vigor to explore the event. Hello and welcome to the Northeast Green Summit 2019, which is being held at the IIT Guwahati. It is being held in IIT for the first time, and coincidentally, IIT is celebrating its 25th year this year. It is being held by IIT Guwahati and Vibgyor Any Foundation. And as you can see, I am in front of the registration desk now. A lot of activists, students, civil rights people and so many VIPs are coming in that I think this is going to be a very good session indeed, with a lot of brainstorming, a little art and a lot of information. We will be taking you through the entire program. We will be taking you through the entire sessions that are going to be held in this program, and it begins now. Like I said, we are at the registration desk, and I think I should interact with the people who are sitting here registering the participants and get to know a little bit more about the kind of participants that have come forward so far. Hello, what is your name?
Sanavi Singha.
Okay. So tell me the participants, which states are they from?
Northeast and outside also.
Okay. There was an online registration process as well, right?
Yes.
How many people have registered so far? Just an approximate idea.
400 up.
The inaugural ceremony, held in the morning of the second day of the 3-day event, was graced by dignitaries and experts from across the country. The function began with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, followed by felicitation of the dignitaries on the dais. Right after that was a performance of Assam's Satriya dance, one of the 8 principal classical dances of India. Mr. Siddharth Bhattacharya, the Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Assam, was the chief guest at the inaugural function of the 4th Northeast Green Summit.
But when I saw the subject, which will be the focus of this summit, I immediately got interested. Because this will be one summit where we'll be discussing a very relevant subject for the Northeast at least.
Dr. Rajdeep Roy, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Silchar, Mr. Jishnu Dev Burman, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Government of Tripura, Mr. M.K. Jamatia, the Honorable Minister of Forests, Tripura, Justice Sonam P. Wangi, Member, National Green Tribunal, Mr. Naveen Verma, Former Secretary, Donor, Government of India, Mr. C.P. Marak, IFS, the Chairman of Pollution Control Board of Meghalaya and PCCF and HOFF, Mr. Anuj Agarwal, the Chairman of Airports Authority of India, Ms. Rashmi Verma, Former Secretary, Tourism, Government of India, Mr. Khampa Borgoyari, the Deputy Chief of the Boro Territorial Council, Professor Dinabandhu Sahu, the Scientific Advisor to the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, and Professor Dr. T.G. Sitaram, the Director of IIT Guwahati, also graced the occasion.
We cannot be so greedy as to finish off everything and leave everything desolate to deprive the future generation from enjoying the fruits of enjoying the endowment provided by the Almighty.
As a parliamentarian, it's almost every day that we hear in the parliament the parliamentarian speaking that we have this and we do not have these. Most of the haves and the have-nots coming from all across the country, we sometimes forget. Someone said we do not have plan B because we do not have second planet to live on. We have to live in this planet and we have to think for the betterment of this planet.
The inaugural function of the event also included the release of a book, Flora of IIT Guwahati, by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Tripura, Mr. Jishnu Dev Burman. An eco-friendly pencil by the brand Camlin was also released by the Honorable Minister of Forests, Tripura, Mr. M.K. Jamatia.
It's also important at this juncture to realize that traditional occupations like becoming a doctor or an engineer is no longer in vogue. It's a thing of the past. Today, there are new trends. There are youngsters who are thinking out of the box. They are marrying different trades. They are coming up with completely unheard of possibilities for their own employment. They are becoming entrepreneurs. Many of them have gone on to creating a name for themselves, and they have done exceedingly well in doing that.
We are here in the 4th Green Summit 2019 and I have with me Mr. Raj Kumar for Camlin Cocoa Group, where he is a national sales manager and he has come up with a lot of products which basically supports sustainable livelihood through various means.
As Camlin, you all know that pioneer in the field of art. We manufacture so many products, and for the skill development, skill-based activities, so we conduct a lot of training programs for the women segment and for the youth. Basically, the live example is we have more than 5,000 hobby artists connected with us, pan-India. Now they wanted to, they're all housewives, and they wanted to earn for the living. So they approached us. We have provided a training program, skill-based training program, how to paint on pot, how to paint on fabric, pillow cover. Ladies, they all know how to stitch the dress material or a pillow cover. So they buy it or they stitch it and then they paint on it. So you're adding value to it. Suppose a bedspread which is going to cost you $200 a set. Now when you paint it, you can sell it for 500 rupees. The colors what is involved, which is going to be like 20-30 rupees. But the value what you're adding to the particular product becomes unique. And this design is not going to be available outside.
I think you have some products also which you can display. You have already displayed some products in the session which you address. And apart from this, probably you have something to show to us?
Yes, we have here. I just got it from the market. Now this was available in the market. It's just made out of bamboo. But now we have painted and you can see how beautiful. This takes about 10 minutes to paint, that's it. We have just added value to this. Now I asked the children, university students, how you like the unpainted one or the painted one? They all loved the painted one. So you can add value.
The color adds to the whole.
Yes, and I can show you one more example. This is a jute bag, which is the plain bag which is available in the market. So, but we have added value by incorporating colors, and we have stuck some stones and mirror And how beautiful this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Marvelous work, I should say.
Actually, we have cut the jute and we have pasted it. We have pasted with the glue and the mirror. So it's going to add value to this product. Now this is a coffee mug which is made out of bamboo, which was available, and I got it for about 20 rupees.
3 दिवसीय चौथा नॉर्थ ईस्ट ग्रीन समिट 2019 जो इस वक्त आईआईटी गुवाहाटी में हो रहा है, हमारे साथ एक विशेष व्यक्ति है नवीन वर्मा जी, आईएएस फॉर्मर, जो डोनर से काफ़ी लंबा उनका संपर्क रहा है.
जो भी बातें हुई हैं सेशंस में, पहले समिट्स में, उसका लगभग 80% पर सरकार काम कर रही है या काम करने वाली है. ये बड़ा बहुत जान खुशी हुई कि ये बातें फिजूल में नहीं हो रही हैं. इन बातों का वास्तव में पॉलिसी मेकर में तालमेल है और उनके लिए प्रासंगिक है. आम आदमी के लिए मेरे ख्याल से जो सबसे बड़ा टेक अवे है ये है कि हम अपने एनवायरनमेंट, पर्यावरण को बचाकर भी खुशहाल रह सकते हैं. माने इकोनॉमिक प्रॉस्पेरिटी कैन हैपन while keeping environment intact.
We actually use sustainable tourism and responsible tourism in a very interchangeable manner. But and both are basically meant to improve the tourism scenario.
So now one can even, I went to Myanmar by road from Moreh. So we went to Mandalay by bus, then obviously to Yangon, then we came back by flight. So this was we went as an experiment basis to see the road conditions. And after opening up of Myanmar to some extent, so the people from that side, maybe from Moreh Tamu and to Kalemio and to Mandalay side, they are quite closely assimilated, or their tribes or language also, more or less it's the similar. So they tend to, as because Mandalay and Yangon is quite far, so they tend to come to Imphal. So in that case, even Imphal has been coming up in a big way.
Well, responsible tourism necessarily means that we make the destination a better place for the people to live in and a better place for the tourists to visit, And what we see is that tourism brings in a lot of development for the local people. There is a lot of economic growth, a lot of employment generation takes place. But there is also a negative impact of tourism. With increased footfalls, there is a lot of pressure on the local resources, natural resources, and also it leads to pollution. How to strike a balance between the two and how to get it right by using the resources in such a way that the ill effect of tourism is minimized. That is what is actually responsible tourism. You need to have more and more community participation. Local people need to participate. The benefits of tourism need to accrue to the local people. And it is also very important to understand the load factor of each destination. Over tourism is one thing which has become a problem in many countries in the world. In fact, many very popular destinations like Barcelona and all, and in India, places like Manali and Shimla and Dalhousie, they are facing the problem of over tourism,
The forest, product of the forest. Timber is not only the product of the forest. We human beings, we indigenous people are the product of the forest. That is one point I would like to make.
Those days there was no law contrary to that, but yet he said that it is so wrong, these one-horned rhinos that we come across over here, that some people take great pride in killing these animals and things like that, and they should refrain from it. So from a conservationist point of view, I think Lord Dalhousie does figure as a very prominent person from whom all these things started.
फोर्थ नॉर्थ ईस्ट ग्रीन समिट 2019 जो कि इस वक्त आईआईटी गुवाहाटी में हो रहा है, मेरे साथ इस वक्त दो विशिष्ट व्यक्ति बैठे हुए हैं. बेवार कुमार जमातिया, कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर, ट्राइबल वेलफेयर एंड फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ त्रिपुरा, और त्रिपुरा से ही हैं हमारे डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर जिष्णु देव बर्मन.
The main reason North East Green Summit today we have gathered to maintain, to preserve our forest area, and to also we have given the tourism, ecotourism, also today's topic, to protect and to promote the tourism in our Northeast. This is also one topic we have given.
In Tripura, we have about 63% forest cover, which is very good. And I think Northeast as a whole is contributing quite a lot in decreasing the carbon footprints in the country. We are almost, the Northeast we can say is the lungs of this country. हम इस देश के lungs है बोल सकते हैं हम. But then land is little less for development. When a place like Tripura, a small state, has 63% of forest cover, the land becomes a constraint for development. This we have put up with the Finance Commission and things like that, because Northeast is playing a very important part in reducing carbon footprints. And that should be appreciated by whole of India. And as far as the greenery is concerned, as the Minister was saying, when we have them, we should worry about them. Since we have 73% forest, we should worry about forest. Once it becomes extinct, that's the human folly, I think. Once it is gone, then we say water, water, water. Once forest is gone, then we say forest, forest, forest. This is a part of human folly, actually. We should, Northeast should worry about the forest much more than any other part, because we still have forests. We still have lush green forests. And water crisis, you see, this is, I think the future will ask for water riots if something is not done. That's why the Prime Minister has opened a new ministry for water. Jal Shakti Ministry. It's a very proactive and very, pro-water. The ministry has opened, and it's the right thought. Because all these previous governments were only putting stress on distribution of water and never on conservation of water. This is the first time we have put, this government, central government, is putting stress on conservation of water, not only distribution.
A national painting camp with 12 artists was organized in association with Lalit Kala Academy during the summit in a bid to promote the concept of clean and green Northeast. It was opened right after the inaugural session got over. I have with me Shri Rajdeep Roy, the Honourable MP of Silchar, who has been an integral part of the 4th Northeast Green Summit. And there is something, sir, that you said during your thank you address, which I really wanted to talk to you in details about. You said that we do not have a plan B. Earth is the only option, so we have to take care of it. Can you kindly elaborate a little bit on that?
Now the question is, what we had maybe 500 years back, we are not having now, and maybe 500 years down the line, the shape, size, and the resources in our Mother Earth will not be the same. What I mean by this is, look, if you go into the scientific analysis, we are seeing that the water level is rising, the glaciers are melting, the average temperature at different places all around the globe is actually rising up. And there may come a time the best of the holiday destinations and islands may cease to exist in the coming years. Are we making laws just to make them redundant into the pages of history, or are we eager to take them and implement them with the participation of the people? That is important. So what I'm actually trying to say is we need to protect our environment.
NSD alumni Pavitra Rabha's theatre group, or other theatre family, Dapun, meaning mirror in Assamese, with a hand-picked cast comprising largely of vertically challenged people, Rabha has been working with since 2008, held the delegates spellbound in the evening. They made a beautiful effort to spread the message of conservation of trees and forests through a very special play they performed after the technical sessions of the second day ended.
ঘৰটো ইয়াতে বনাই নিব পাৰিলোহেঁতেন আনিবলৈ নহয় নহয়
হিৰা
কলিতা তই ক'ত যাৱ ইমান কিবা কবিকে
ভুলিৰামৰ ঘৰত যাম
হয় নেকি
কি কৈছা
তাতে এটি বনাই আছিলো পাই
দে লাগি যাম দে
বোলো শুনচোন
কি হ'লে
এইফালে আছো এইফালে বহ না বহ বহচোন বহ তইতো মোক সেইনাখিনিয়ে মাতি পঠাইছিলি যাব বহ সময় নাই
এই বস্তুটো বনাইছিল তাৰমানে আমাৰ ঘৰত
হয় নি
তাকে খাবা মাত পাইছিলো তো
উঠনি পৰা একদম বিয়া লাগি আছে গম পাইছ না বৰ ৰখি আছো নহয়
তেৰে ভুলিৰামে ৰখিছে তো এতিয়া দিবা নোৱাৰিম দেই
অলপমান দে না
নালাগে লাগে যি খাম আৰু দান বজা
আৰু আনিবগৈ নালাগে ইয়াৰ পৰাই অকণমান খাম দে না
দে ল মই খাই দিলা আৰু হয় নেকি পিছে অলপমান নুকু দে মাছ আছে নাই মাছ এতিয়া ইমান ধুনীয়া পৰিষ্কাৰ পানী আছে এক মিনিট
While we talk about Northeast and about forests, can the topic of bamboo be far behind? We are talking about musical instruments made from bamboo which we got to listen to on the concluding day 4th Northeast Green Summit. Nagaland's band Abiogenesis, who created these instruments and were nominated in the 50th Grammy Awards in the Contemporary World Music category, enthralled the delegates with a power-packed performance. We will be showing you clippings from the concert, but before that, let's see what the technical sessions of the third day had in store.
If you see the contents, you know what we are going to discuss here. Bioassets available in the northeastern region. Developmental triad, which is what is the harmony of the development. And then bioresearch utilization strategies. And the role of our center, as Dr. Madan Mohan has mentioned, that DPT has funded us enormously for conducting biotechnical research for the benefit of the people of the northeastern region.
A session on biotechnology and its intervention and bioresources utilization in northeastern region has been kept. And this is one of the aspects, we have to take at this juncture very seriously.
I would suggest that, Dr. Madan Mohan sir, I would suggest that when we have a Northeast Startup Challenge, focusing on Northeast, take up out of what you get from Northeast as the proposals or innovative, screen them, take them to the highest level of screening, then select a few whatever can be done and do a mentoring for kids.
These are the things Assam is famous for, and I will not go into details of this, but this is just only a fraction of the biodiversity we have, and only a few of the postage stamps which the government of India has published. So each state has been covered well. So this is the story from Manipur, famous for the Sunday deer. Professor Sao is sitting over here, who works on that Lopet Lake, where there is a sanctuary, where it's find the deer. And this particular quail is also one of the unique birds over there.
You know that northeastern part is very, very multi-parametric informations are there, devastations are possible. So with that, here, especially tourism sector, if you just look around, you will see that northeastern part has got better tourist offers or destinations, as well as lot of water, lot of land resources, the topography, the diversity is huge. So a lot of potential is there, and it can be tapped, it can be utilized for to bring in lot many tourists and lot many developmental activities in this area. But we do need to take care because our area is surrounded by different regions. So one of the borders issue remain, but at the same time the weather, the different disasters like earthquake, the landslides, the cyclones, all these things also may destabilize.
You were talking about how biotechnology can be used to enhance the livelihoods of the rural population. Can you tell us a little
briefly,
bit?
Before I start off with that, I'll just tell you about my organization. I work with the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics. It's a UN organization and it is based out of Hyderabad. We are headquartered in Hyderabad, hosted by Government of India, and we basically work on dryland agriculture. And ACRESAT has been here since 1972, working on dryland agriculture, and its mandate crops are sorghum, millet, chickpea, pigeon pea and groundnut. These are our mandate crops, and what we want to do is we want to bring in livelihood changes, improve the livelihood of the farmers. These are smallholder farmers of the semi-arid tropics, and we want to increase their livelihoods. We want to address malnutrition and environmental degradation. So that is our basic mission and vision of the Institute. And as you have said, I work for the Agribusiness Innovation Platform. And with the work around that platform, we are again trying to see how technologies, like we also work on biotechnology in terms of developing marker-assisted breeding, to develop climate smart crops, which are resilient to drought, which are resilient to insect attack, etc. But what is most important is that these technologies need to be taken to the ground, and it needs to be benefiting the local communities. And to do that, what we understand and what we realize is that it is very important that these technologies are inclusive, which means when somebody adopts this technology, it should be the local communities who should be part of the process.
The word indigenous has been much debated at all levels, but it merely means, quote, the originating or occurring naturally in a particular place, native. And we must understand it accordingly, in a simple way, without newer controversies. Then we all know what conservation means in this given context. We understand that we are talking about conservation of nature. And immediately what comes to our mind is a set of legal laws and rules that restricts and permits specific actions. Reserve forest, wildlife sanctuaries, and national parks are not all that matters for conservation.
And the debate was, that was the day when Lakshmi Puja was also there, and the debate was that the state government notified that 2 hours, as per the guidelines of the Supreme Court, 2 hours is permissible for people of Sikkim to burn crackers, and that to green crackers. And Sikkim, if you did not know, in the year 2015, the state notified that it's going to be a blanket ban on bursting of crackers in the state. So the debate that happened on social media is whether we should adhere to whatever the Supreme Court said, or should we have a carpet ban as it was earlier. Some people were for the motion and some people were against the motion. Some used the crackers and some did not use the crackers. But what is most important was that the debate was ferocious, especially on the social media.
I see my son right away from a physical touch.
How important is entrepreneurship actually? Because we all know what's in the books, we all know what the scientists are doing in the labs, we are being taught, we are being encouraged to do those work ourselves. But what is important is how do we use that knowledge for the benefit of the entire region.
इसमें यह अच्छा लगा कि हम एक कल्चर को प्रमोट भी करते हैं और उसको नीचे भी लाते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग का कल्चर जो आगे बढ़ना छोड़ के, ये स्पेशली नॉर्थ ईस्ट आगे बढ़ना छोड़ के वो पीछे आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग इसको आगे प्रमोट नहीं कर रहे। तो इसमें हम लोग कुछ जैसे सर ने भी बहुत कुछ बोला कि हम लोग कैसे प्रमोट करना चाहिए.
And we must utilize the time, and this is a feedback session, right, which is very important. This is the 4th summit for in the consecutive year which has been happening. The purpose is very, very different compared to a typical scientific summit. This is more integrated summit with science and technology, social science, culture, indigenous knowledge. So this is a wonderful forum. And all of you are here. Of course, many of the things when it goes as a recommendations, some of the important recommendations get into the state government policy, some into the central government policy and all these things. But even if it goes to the policy, the most important thing is the implementations. There are many things which comes on the paper, but when it comes to the ground zero, it's a very, very difficult situation. You can sit down.
Among the 3 sessions, I love the last one the most because I feel the gap between socio-economic sector and the indigenous conservation, forest sanctity can be bridged by education. And it's very sensitive, the thin line difference between socio-economic sector and the conservation sector. To maintain that sanctity, to understand the importance of tribal communities, the forest, to link it, the bridge is really very important. So I hope in future we'll get to attend more seminars like this.
I was revisiting the forest policy, waste management and biotechnological innovations today. The most favorite, as I'd say, is the waste management one. So you were there. I really liked the presentation that Sir C. Srinivasan gave. It was really very enlightening, and I was really very happy to see that उन्होंने छोटा सी शुरू किया and he completed it. मतलब possible है. Waste management मुझे कभी possible नहीं लगा, to be honest. But मैं पूरा नॉर्थ ईस्ट घूमी because मेरे फादर आर्मी में हैं and हर जगह में है. Although बाहर भी है, but नॉर्थ में काफी कम है, but still places like Guwahati, pretty long, completed है.
IIT Guwahati being co-host, we have our facilities like a big auditorium, then conference rooms, and all audiovisual display are possible here. So we easily could co-host such a nice program, and we are looking forward that not only deliberations, recommendations coming out of this summit are implemented properly, and we will love to be partner or collaborator for implementation of the recommendations. And I appeal all the people to join hands so that we can make our nation green, for the future of our new generations, so that they can live a nice world. And we should take the initiative and help our coming generations for proper living.
See, this is I think the ethos of our campus, and each one of us sitting at this campus often come out, and we together as a family, as a community, we take care of these trees. And that's why this particular book or the compendium that we have come out, it will actually set a ground to understand the importance of different type of plants and the diversity of this campus itself. If Northeast is the hotspot for biodiversity, IIT Guwahati campus is the hotspot of biodiversity in Guwahati, and we must nurture that. We are committed to do that, and our community is doing excellent job for that.
Northeast Green Summit, yes, as you have mentioned, it started in the state of Meghalaya. From the extreme, you can say the tip of the Northeast like a U shape, or it's like a stick, the curve of a stick. So from the tip of the stick, now you have started the first Northeast Green Summit that was held at Tura way back in 2016. This is one of the sterling achievement of mobilizing and bringing the participants from all walks of life to a summit like this.
What sets Northeast Green Summit apart from the others?
We put data behind it, real hardcore data from the ground, because without data it's useless. Right? Once we put the data behind the ground, then we start petitioning the ministry to make a policy change, because in India, on the government, only if policy changes happen do real changes happen on the ground. And that's where we think we are different, and we hope many more other people who hold summits like this would adopt the similar format.
हमारे साथ इस वक्त कुछ खास व्यक्ति है, काफ़ी सीनियर पर्सन है हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री के, और वो उनका ताल्लुक है इको टूरिज्म सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया के फाउंडर से. तो ये हमारे एक बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है. वी वुड लाइक टू नो हिम फ्रॉम. आपको क्या लग रहा है ये 4th नॉर्थ ईस्ट ग्रीन समिट 2019 है?
एज अ होटेलियर सबसे पहली नेशनल कंपनी मैं लेके आया था नॉर्थ ईस्ट में, और तभी से मेरा ये एक मेरे मन में ये एक तमन्ना थी कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट की सारी स्टेट्स मिलके कुछ करें, और ये मैं बहुत खुश हूँ देख के कि ये सारी स्टेट्स ने मिलके ये समिट ऑर्गेनाइज़ करी है. इको टूरिज़म सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से मैं पिछले 2-3 सालों में मैं 2 बारी यहाँ वर्कशॉप्स कर चुका हूँ. ये जो इनिशिएटिव है ये बिल्कुल कंटिन्यूड रहना चाहिए, और हमारा जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट का पार्ट है इंडिया का, ये एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत पार्ट है, और बायोडाइवर्सिटी बहुत है. तो और ये सारी स्टेट्स मिलके बहुत कुछ कर सकती हैं अगर एक साथ डेवलप करें तो. और इसमें मैं समझता हूँ ये जो ग्रीन समिट है ये एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाए जिसमें सब एक साथ मिलके कुछ कर रहे हैं.
I'm very happy to see a large number of students are also participating in it. From school, students are also participating in it.
I've been here since yesterday and I've been sort of attending the sessions, and I have to say I'm extremely impressed with the diverse backgrounds of speakers and the depth of their knowledge on different issues.
Same team.
Next year you must win it.
Your friend has come.
Congratulations.
The same commitment to make sustainable development, our government under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana has distributed around 28 lakh new LPG connection all across the country in the last 4 to 5 years.
The Green Summit should become an agent of change for the region.
3 days of intense deliberations and discussions have come to an end at the 4th Northeast Green Summit, which was being held at the IIT Guwahati campus. And these 3 days saw a huge participation from people of across different walks of life, people like scholars, lawmakers, activists, who all discussed and debated and found ways to sustain a normal livelihood, a better livelihood, and to bring about development without harming the environment that they live in. Abiogenesis, a folk fusion act from Nagaland, enchanted the audience comprising of delegates at the 4th Northeast Green Summit with their exotic brand of music. Abiogenesis is known for Hohi music, blending Naga folk with modern elements, resulting in a unique, offbeat and refreshing experience. The Bamham, a wind instrument invented by Moa Subong, a band member who received the President's Award for it, brings an otherworldly quality to the band's sound.
Positive hope is the biggest takeaway from the 3 days of Green Summit for everybody. The will of the representatives of the people, the views of the experts, and the zeal of the organizers, along with the concern of the young participants about the planet Earth and related issues, makes us believe that we shall be able to tackle the challenges and see a new dawn.